Palestinian people are genocidal.
Right,
They
right.
want
They're genocidal, so we have to do genocide to them because
they're genocidal.
They might
so
possibly attack us in 20 years, so we have to genocide them. Like, were they occupying Gaza before they were attacked?
no, not really.
No, you don't
you
bomb 800 schools without targeting schools. You don't destroy 300 million of cultural heritage.
That's still not enough. Why are you targeting schools? You keep on forgetting about why.
Dozens of children shot twice in the head and chest. There's evidence. There's proof that it was intentional.
Now, were these children, I don't know, child soldiers? Do we know? Second of all,
we're talking about kids who are like 10, 9, 8. Were they child soldiers?
You don't think there's 10-year-old child soldiers?
No, that might be the most fucked up thing I've ever heard in my life. And no, they weren't child soldiers, to be clear. They're specifically targeting cultural sites of cultural heritage to stop them from attacking them. They've targeted over 800 schools to stop the schools from attacking them.
Yeah, because remember.
Why did they bomb the oldest mosque in Gaza?
My assumption, because I don't know because I don't have the exact.
No Hamas was killed in this bomb. So go ahead, make your assumption.
Sure. My assumption would be either because they thought one of the Hamas leaders was in they talked about the tunnels and stuff. Somebody was underneath it or hiding.
Yeah.
I'm not saying they were. I'm saying they thought they were.
So can they use that as justification for every action for $300 million of cultural damage? Again, something the ICJ has specifically said is evidence of intent. They can use that as a justification for every one of those.
So the problem with intent is going to be, were you there? Do you know what they said? Did the bomb?
I know what they said. What they said.
Did they say?
I literally know what there will be no electricity, no food, no fuel. Everything is closed. We are fighting.
Yeah, that's not genocide.
And we will act.
Well, there will be no electricity, no fuel, so they can't build bombs. Like, you got to understand.
Is that deliberately inflicting conditions to bring upon the physical destruction of a group? If you remove electricity,
what if it's to bring about surrender? What if it's to bring about surrender?
If you remove food,
how do you know it's not to bring about surrender?
And electricity from
how do you know it's not to bring about surrender? How do you know it's not? How do you know it's not about to bring about surrender?
Because they're doing it to civilians. They're not fighting civilians. You're doing it to children. The intent is to do it to
Have you heard of a siege? Have you heard of a siege? Have you heard of a siege?
Yes, a siege is genocidal. You don't think
a siege is not genocide? A siege is not genocide.
If you do a siege is not genocide. If you do a siege with the intention of destroying the group, that's genocide. That is a genocide.
No, the intention is to get them to stop.
No, it's not.
Prove it. Prove it.
In Gaza, it's literally not. It's literally
not. You can't prove it.
When you're occupying someone and then you're withholding electricity, food, fuel, and water from their civilians
to get them to stop bombing your people and wanting to genocide your people.
Also, by the way, it's been 2 years and they're still doing this. Hamas, everyone, the ICC has released.
Yes, because the Palestinians are genocidal.
The ICC has released arrest warrants, by the way. This is important to state, of everyone who they believe was responsible, not only for October the 7th, but they also released them for Netanyahu and stuff, but everyone in Hamas leadership that was responsible for October the 7th, that was considered pivotal in their group, it was like 5, 6, 7 warrants, right? Israel killed every one of them. They're still withholding aid from entering Gaza. There is still one toilet.
You know why? Do you know why?
There's one toilet for every 4,000 civilians in the Gaza Strip. Also, important to note, Hamas has released, they put forth a peace plan that if Israel did a permanent ceasefire and withdrew from Gaza, Hamas would leave leadership, release all of the hostages, and that would be it. And Israel said, no, they won't do it because they want to return to fighting after 60 days. Netanyahu said this. All of this is publicly known. It's happening because the point is ethnic cleansing. The point is destroying Gaza. It's so clear.
And prove that the point is not, they will never attack us again.
Because Benjamin Netanyahu's saying that. Because there is a peace plan that, again, Hamas will leave leadership.
No, peace plans.
Hamas will leave leadership. And they will release all of the
Palestinian people are genocidal.
Right. They're genocidal, so we have to do genocide to them because they're genocidal. They might possibly attack us in 20 years, so we have to genocide them. Like, that's not a justification.
Not have to genocide them, but we have
them. They are doing genocide actively.
That is your opinion. We will wait for the ICJ to tell us if that's the case.
You've given no defense that they aren't. You've just said, well, maybe they want to do this or that. You've in no way defended the case that they aren't.
I mean, I said that they're doing it because they were attacked and they were here legally
$300 million
in the right and have been getting attacked for 100 years.
$300 million of cultural destruction along
You
with
have to prove that they said you have to prove. Yes, you have to prove that they said.
No, you don't. That's
yes,
not in the guidelines. It's not how intent is.
Yes, it is. Yes, it
no,
is.
It's not. No, it's not.
You can't just
literally. No, it's not. It's literally not.
Listen,
it's literally not. You think intent is only proven by people saying, I'm going to do this because of this? That's not true.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
By the way, anyone who wants to see, I just interviewed Omar. I just interviewed Omar Bartov. I just interviewed Omar Bartov, which is a leading figure on genocide, and he disagrees with you. The ICJ guidelines on how to define intent disagree with you. And all of this disagrees with you. You're trying to pigeonhole intent into something that it isn't internationally defined as in a legal context.
Nope.
Yes.
Look, what I'm saying is you're looking at the results.
How intent is proved. The ICJ has guidelines released for how intent is proved. They actually, in one point, specifically clarify that if you kill enough civilian members of a group, that could be evidence of intent that your action isn't that of war, but that to destroy a group. Why would they say that if you have to have you have to prove that they said that? Why would that?
I'm not saying that you have to prove that they said that. What I'm saying is you can have a war and buildings will get destroyed. So you have to, that you or whoever, ICJ, whoever wants to prove it's a genocide has to prove that the intent was to destroy the cultural things. Not
right.
And because again, you could destroy every single cultural building in the country.
True. That's literally not true. It's literally not true.
If that wasn't your intent, if that wasn't your
hold on.
intent,
Have you ever read the ICJ guidelines on intent for genocide?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, but it was
so when they specifically state that level of damage, that the level in which damage is caused can be evidence of intent.
Yeah, evidence can be evidence, but that's not conclusion. And we're talking about the conclusion. You've already come to the conclusion, which is that it is genocide. And so what I'm telling you is,
do you know what
you can theoretically destroy every cultural building in a country, and it doesn't have to be genocide because the intent might not be there.
So let's use the scientific method to come to a conclusion. We have all of this evidence, we have all of this observational data, and all of us points it towards the conclusion of this being genocide. You have no evidence, but you have maybe it's not. And that
I have lots of evidence. For instance, they were attacked, and so they're attacking back. That's a lot of evidence right there.
Did they attack before they were attacked? Were they occupying Gaza before they were attacked?
No, not really.
No. So you disagree with the ICJ?
No, in the giant. No, because you got to go back to the 40s.
If you said they weren't occupying Gaza before they were attacked on October the 7th, then you disagree with the ICJ.
Okay. That's a different question. Before they were attacked on October 7th? Yes. Before they were attacked, period? No, which is why you can't start. History doesn't start on October 7th, January, or 2023. History started.
Yes, that's the point.
And so what I'm saying is,
I don't think you understand the history, just to be clear, because you said so many things that are just like blatantly untrue.
Of course, and I don't think you understand the history.
We have to debate next week for sure, but none of this begets genocide, and none of it proves that actions aren't genocide either.
At best, you have a standstill. You have evidence that it could be a genocide, but nothing conclusive because
no. At best, we have strong evidence of there being a genocide, and you have, well, maybe it's not strong enough. Maybe it's not enough evidence.
Nope. Because
you have skepticism.
A dead body is not evidence of a murder.
I have evidence, and you have skepticism of my evidence. That's like
it's evidence that there's somebody dead.
Yeah,
you have to
quotes and cultural destruction are evidence of intent.
Well, cultural destruction, as I said, if it was targeted, if it was targeted, you can't prove that yet.
Yes, and it's alone evidence of intent. And level of damage also per the ICJ can be used to weigh in on.
Yes. Everything is evidence.
But you don't bomb 800 schools without targeting schools. You don't destroy 300 million of cultural heritage.
That's still not enough. Why are you targeting schools? You keep on forgetting about why. Why?
Yes, and when it's matched with their plans to ethnically cleanse Gaza, it's matched with them killing members of the group.
It matches with them trying to stop Gaza from ever attacking them again. It matches with them trying to remove Hamas from power.
20,000 children because they're trying to remove Hamas from power. Like, yeah, exactly. And even more sufficient. They've killed 20,000 children because they want to remove Hamas from power, but they can't accept the peace plan that would remove Hamas from power because they're also trying to make sure that the Palestinians will never attack them again. Like, that's the logic being put forth here. They can't accept a peace plan where Hamas Hamas would willingly leave power because of whatever, but they also have to kill children because Hamas is in power and they have to get them out of there.
Well, we got to wrap it up. But what I can say is, I think I've heard a lot of assertions about they're killing the children. You got to prove that they're targeting the children.
Yes,
Children dying is not the same thing.
Okay, 7 Israeli soldiers, just to be clear, 7 Israeli soldiers just the other week went on BBC and said that on different missions, their generals specifically would have them target children. I interviewed Feroz Sidwa, a doctor, an American doctor who spent went to Gaza 2 different times. He said that he saw dozens of children shot twice in the head and chest. There's evidence. There's proof that it was intentional.
Now, were these children, I don't know, child soldiers? Do we know? Second of all,
we're talking about kids who are like 10, 9, 8. Were they child soldiers?
You don't think there's 10-year-old child soldiers?
No, that might be the most fucked up thing I've ever heard in my life. And no, they weren't child soldiers, to be clear, to be specific.
Awesome. You don't think that there's ever been a 10-year-old child soldier?
I just want to be clear that the 7 Israeli soldiers specifically said, they quoted a kid who walked across the lines. He was doing nothing. This is a verbatim quote. He was doing nothing and we were instructed to shoot him. Was that a child soldier?
I mean, if he was doing nothing, I couldn't possibly know.
Okay.
If it was just a random kid, obviously that is
a war. Across the line with nothing.
Obviously, that is a war crime.
Right.
But war crimes are still not genocide. I mean, genocide is a war crime, but war crimes are not genocide, which is what I said at the outset. I'm not defending Israel's actions. I'm not saying Israel hasn't done anything bad.
I need proof that they were intentionally killing kids, and I'm just saying that there is plenty of proof. We have videos also. Like there's videos of kids, a kid who was waving a white flag and was like hit with 6 bullets by the IDF while walking and waving a white flag. I could give you endless amounts of proof.
If this is a genocide, it's one of the worst genocides ever. All you got to do is go in there and kill everybody. Let's just do it. Why wouldn't they do that?
Because it wouldn't get away with it.
Yeah. All I'm saying is, to wrap up my thing, I think that the situation in Gaza is obviously devastating. Every innocent death on either side to me is absolutely horrible, which I don't think we are going to disagree on that. Any citizens of either country. But I just think calling it genocide is premature, legally, morally. And I do think the historical context matters. I know that you don't, but I think the fact that, in my opinion, if we look at how it all started, that Israel began on the defensive, that matters. And I think that we got to take that into account, especially if we want to just keep it with recent history. Same thing on October 7th. They were, attacked first there in that situation and are responding in kind. But I think that obviously we both want peace. We both want humanitarian efforts there. And I think that all war crimes should be punished, even if there is no genocide. Any soldiers or commanders who said to shoot unarmed, non-combatant children should be punished to the fullest extent of the law. I don't know what the war laws are like, but thrown in jail or whatever. But to me, I don't think that there's enough to say it's a genocide. I think intent is difficult to prove, but I align with Pope Francis. I want a ceasefire, and the use of force must be the last resort. So that's all I got to say on that.
Yeah, I guess to quickly wrap my position, I think if you don't think that the evidence of intent is there, that you will never think it's there. I think it's pretty clear. Benzal Smotrich, right? The Palestinian people are an invention that's less than 100 years old. That was him doubling down on his quote that those who don't accept Israeli sovereignty annexing the West Bank should be killed. We're now rolling out the Gaza Nakba. That is the agriculture minister for Israel. It's an entire nation out here that is responsible. The rhetoric about civilians not being aware, not being involved, it's absolutely not true. We will kill civilians until we break their backbone. That was Israeli President Isaac Herzog. This was 6 days after October the 7th. Again, Netanyahu invoking the Amalek genocide, right? A biblical genocide of women, children, and a slaughter of the livestock and burning down the towns. The intent is clear. The cultural destruction is there. The cultural destruction is a key point in the ICJ in proving intent. The level of destruction is there. You don't accidentally kill 55,000 civilians. You don't kill almost 20,000 children without the intent to kill children. It's not an accident. It's clearly genocidal. The intent is there in their quotes and in their actions.